Hello and welcome to Course Like Your Car Brochure channel and the return of Ford Fridays with the Ford Cortina Mk3 pre-facelift. Welcome back, and if you're new to Course Like, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing, it certainly helps the channel. Now we've been doing something called a Fiat Friday for the last 3 weeks or so, looking at a Fiat every Friday, but traditionally we've always looked at a Ford on a Friday, so that has kind of returned, although we might go back to Fiats at some point. So today is a Ford Friday. The Ford I've chosen today is the Ford Cortina Mk3. Now we have looked at the Mk3 Cortina before, but it was the facelifted model. This is the pre-facelifted model. So it might be interesting to have a look at that today on Course Like. This particular brochure is a UK brochure from 1972. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, and here is today's brochure from the UK, like I said, 1972. It's a strange front cover actually, this one for the Ford Cortina, because you kind of think this would be like the centre pages, but this is actually the start. As we can see, there is a dealer stamp on the front, and interestingly, if we fold it out, the front and the rear gives this rather nice full image of the Cortina and the family, including dog. Title here, the incomparable Cortina, by this stage 72, Britain's best-selling car, just in front of the Escort. So still doing very well. You notice straight away that the pre-facelift ones, we've got these round headlamps all the way across the board, not just on the very base model. So that's a key, and the interior is a little bit different as well. This is a lower spec model because we have just got, you know, the two headlamps rather than the twin headlamp model, so it's one of the lower specs. This is probably an XL because we've got XL seats in the back there. Let's zoom in on the dealer stamp and then we'll look at a few little things before we go inside the brochure. So the big dealership today is Bristol Street Motors in Birmingham for your free test drive. Quite a nice dealer stamp. Not a huge fan of where they actually placed the dealer stamp. Maybe the back page might have been a little bit better, I don't know. Over here somewhere, but no, they decided to slap it right on top of the bonnet of this Cortina, but never mind. Quite a wordy little start actually for a front cover. Think of yourself for once. Think of the sort of car that you'll really like to drive. Sleek and good looking, of course, with snappy performance, sure. And wide and low and tight on the road. Naturally, that sounds like a very special sort of car. Very 70s, isn't it? And we might as well look at the writing on the back page while we're here as well. It says, think of yourself. Think of the benefits of being backed by one of the most efficient dealer networks in the country, of widely available expert service, of guaranteed parts. There are 400 Ford main dealers throughout Britain, over 1,000 more retail dealers, and all there to ensure that owning a Ford is a pleasure that lasts. And before we move into the main cover, let's just have a little reminder of how they facelifted it with these sort of rectangular front headlights there. This is 75, remember. This is 72. The facelift happened kind of like late 73. But anyway, let's open the brochure up and have a look inside. Interior shot now, and kind of like a reminder of these pre-facelift models, had this very different dashboard, this kind of like sloping down type design with these recessed dials. Looks very 70s, doesn't it? And this huge like glove box with this sort of fake wood on the side of it. And as we can see, we can now see this green one that was on the front cover, these seats, which are the XL seats. So it's telling us here a Cortina 1600 XL with a radio which is an option available extra cost. You can just about make out that extra cost radio there, though we do get a nice armrest. Overall, not a bad looking car. This is kind of like one model up from the base L model. Let's have a quick look at some of this text. I suppose you could actually say two models up, really, couldn't you? I think there was a very base Cortina, then there was the L, and then there would have been this XL. But anyway, let's read some of this text. Please yourself, because the Cortina pleases everyone else as well, with thickly padded contoured seats for lasting comfort, plenty of stretching space, and many safety features, including padded fascia, anchored seats, collapsible steering column. The Cortina is good from everybody's point of view, driver and passengers alike. A car with the flair that appeals to the driver in us, and in practicality that appeals to the realist. And there is a bit of a zoom in on that front dash. It really is quite an amazing looking dash. I think a lot of people preferred what it actually became, but I think I prefer this dashboard. Not too sure about this wood. That all feels very cheap and 70s, but there we go. Overall, not a bad looking car and not a bad looking interior. And then, as I've got this 75 brochure out for the full Ford range, I might as well throw this particular picture on of this kind of updated, the facelifted Cortina, with that facelifted, more traditional, more ordinary interior on it. Incidentally, this is quite a high spec one. This is a 2000E here. And as we turn the page, we go from the quite a lowly XL with those single headlamps all the way up to a GXL with these twin headlamps, which I really like the look of. This particular sunset red example really outlines that sort of Coke bottle design that the Mark III was famous for. Lots of nice features, quite sporty wheels on here. Lots of chrome. I do like the chrome bumpers on the Mark III actually, and then we've got a chrome strip running down there. And these wing mirrors as well. I don't know, they may have been an accessory feature. We will look at the specifications at the end. This gentleman's buying a very, I don't know how to describe that piece of art, but this picture's quite amusing down the bottom here. I'm really not sure how this piece of art really matches any of the other artwork. Seems very out of place, but that's the one he chose to get. Very unusual. Or did he bring it into the art gallery? Either way, I'm not sure about that choice. Okay, and the wording down the bottom answers a few questions. It's a Cortina 2000 GXL fitted with an optional radio. Yeah, still optional radio on this high-spec model. The underriders are an optional extra. The wing mirrors are the accessory, as we guessed. All available at extra cost. Text-wise, it's telling us the Cortina range now extends further than ever before, giving you much greater choice. Depending on the money you want to spend, it can be anything from a stylish but economical family saloon to a luxurious prestige car. It goes on to say, of course, whichever model you buy, you get the built-in Cortina qualities: reliability and economy, spaciousness and good looks, inherent safety. The Cortina GXL carries the Cortina concept to a luxurious extreme, with cut pile fitted carpets, heated rear window, thickly padded seats, adjustable three ways, choice of a 1.6 or 2 litre engine. In fact, everything to make this the most impressive Cortina ever sold. And we even got a nice little picture of the rear, showing a nice sort of styling of the rear. I think out of all the Cortinas, I think the Mark III was my favourite actually. I just like some of the sort of design cues. I know it's kind of like inspired a bit by Americana, etc., but I do like this particular version. I do particularly like this GXL version, particularly for that front end. I think I do prefer the pre-facelift models. Okay, and as we turn the next page entitled If You've Got Questions, quite a wordy page this. We might just pick a couple of key things rather than reading the whole thing, because the most of it is just waffle, to be honest with you. So the Cortina has all the answers and a few different trim levels of Cortina, so we'll kind of guess the trim level in a moment. Let's just pick a couple of these little bits out and then we'll go to the main picture. Addressing some concerns with safety, I think the motorists might have been starting to think more about safety, although it wasn't a huge thing in the 70s by any stretch of the imagination. It says, one of the most important questions you could ask concerned safety, and again the Cortina has very reassuring answers. Safety starts with the car's placing on the road low with wide set wheels for better stability. So, we're not talking airbags here, we're just talking, let's put some wide wheels on. The brakes are dual line, which means that the front and back brakes operate on separate systems. The steering is precise, positive rack and pinion. The steering column is collapsible to reduce risk of injury in collisions. All models are fitted with front disc brakes as standard. Doors are fitted with anti-burst locks. The front seats are firmly anchored. The fascia is of fall-away design and, of course, padded. The switches are placed out of harm's way. The front and rear ends of the car collapse progressively to absorb impact force. It doesn't make for good driving to worry about how safe your car is. On the Cortina, we've done the worrying for you. So this is a nice sort of family picture. We're going to have to guess which trim level's which, because it doesn't really tell us. We've also got an estate model, but the blue one at the front answers in the section there if you know what colour this is. There is a colour chart at the end, and there's a few different blues actually at this time. This is either going to be an L or an XL, isn't it? Because it's only got the single headlamps on there. We've got those accessory wing mirrors on there as well. I'm thinking with that black sort of seats, maybe that is the L, with some vinyl seats, maybe that is a lower trim level, and that gold colour one, which it shows the rear of, is also going to be either an L or an XL by the looks of it. Now we do know what this front white one is going to be. Presuming that's ermine white. It looks white anyway, doesn't it? That's going to be the GT model. Now we can see it's a higher spec model. Twin headlamps. It doesn't have that GXL badge on the grille, and it's only got a single chrome strip going across the grille rather than three little stripes going on the top model. So that's going to be the GT. That's also a two-door model. Quite a rare car, that one. And at the back there we've got the estate again. That's going to, they didn't really do very high models, so that's either going to be the L or the XL as well by looks of it. And they've all got a few little details and a few little extras on there as well. I also quite like on these Cortinas how they have that sort of white indicator. That seems to be a little bit ahead of its time, really. Now the next page is a very interesting page. Actually, it introduces all the models, the L and the Cortina, actually the Cortina and L. So we didn't really see too much about the Cortina, not even an L, but kind of mentions it there. The XL, the GT, the GXL, and the Cortina estate, which could be either as a Cortina, so the base model, Cortina L, and Cortina XL. Like I say, it's a shame it doesn't show more about that very base model. And a look at some of these interiors, and that's sort of that black interior, which made me think that was probably an L on that previous page. But we'll have a look at some of this because there's some interesting little facts and tells you what each model came with. Okay, so the Cortina and Cortina L, 1300 and 1600 engines available, or a 2 litre available on the 4-door L model. So what do you get with that? If you're looking for good-looking, reliable economy motoring with built-in safety, the answer starts here with the Cortina. Wide set wheels, longer wheelbase make for safer, better road holding and better looks. Gentle suspension system make for a smoother, quieter ride. Better, safer handling. Big windows all round give better visibility. Big boot takes bags of luggage. Big fuel tank takes long trips in its stride. Completely separate braking systems front and back, dual line we call it, with discs at front, and back to good looks, the body is electro-coated with an anti-rust phosphate undercoat to help it keep it looking good. I don't think that worked too well, did it? Anyway, moving along, there is the interior of those base models. And an idea of what you got. Room at the top, bottom, front, back and sides. Shaped seats that hug and hold you. Aeroflow ventilation to help keep you cool. The Cortina features 2-speed wipers, front passenger door locks, package tray, safety steering column, child-proof rear locks, exterior flush handles. The Cortina L starts building up the comforts with looped pile carpeting. All the interiors colour keyed for complete harmony, from door trim to reclining front seats. What else? Passenger grab handles, cigar lighter, reversing lamps, rubber bumper inserts, and, to help give you a safe view of the road ahead, a foot operated wiper washer control. Cortina XL 1300 on 4-door models only, 1600 and 2-litre engines also available. Going up, the Cortina XL takes over where the Cortina L leaves off. Here's how you recognise it. The Cortina XL has bright metal mouldings along the drip rail, the side windows, waist rail, wheel arches and a unique rear panel oblique. The exhaust is finished in bright metal trim, the bumpers have rubber inserts to absorb minor upsets, the wheels have their own XL trim design, cannot be fitted to 5.5-inch rims, and of course reversing lights safely bring up the rear. The 2-door model has opening rear quarter windows. Okay, so just going back to this main image where we're trying to guess the trim levels, I guess that answers the question that this front one is the XL, not the L as I guess, because it's got that sort of bright work on the drip tray as it mentioned, and kind of like these little bright chrome type pieces going around the wheel arches. The one in the rear actually must be the L. If you noticed, it doesn't have that sort of bright work around here and no chrome on that drip tray either. There is that interior of the XL, and we can look at that dash. It tells us inside you can feel the difference with additional seat padding and unique trim style. The front seats will hold you in comfort for hours at a stretch. They're fully reclining to form a flat bed, adjustable forward and back, and even the driver's seat cushion height can be adjusted. The rear seats are bucket style for long range comfort with an armrest that folds away to make room for 3. There's a looped pile carpet, cigar lighter, electric clock, simulated wood fascia. There's a vanity mirror and driver's sun visor with a pocket for ready to hand documents. There's a rear view mirror that clicks over to no glare for safer night driving. There's a light up and lock up glove box, and you'll find matte pockets on both sides. And here is your GT in my favourite colour, a 1600 GT and a 2-litre available. Performance is the big thing, but appearance counts too, as you'll see from the unique GT paint scheme, incorporating coachline and black back panel. The front grille and its twin halogen headlamps, operating on main beam, has its own distinctive look too. Special sports road wheels and radial ply tyres are fitted to cope comfortably with the GT's swift, positive acceleration. The suspension is stiffened up to give firm, safer road holding at speed. Then we've got that interior shot, very black, isn't it? He goes on to tell us indoors the GT maintains its strong individualism. The high back front rally seats look good enough for a jetliner cockpit, but There's more than good looking and super comfort. They're designed to improve safety. The centre console gives you a quick check on fuel, oil pressure and temperature, and an ammeter. An ammeter I should say. And other inside good things include a rev counter, trip recorder, cigar lighter, front operated wiper washer control, 2-speed wipers, opening rear quarter vents on the 2-door, electric clock, day and night rear view mirror, sports steering wheel and matching gear shift knob, padded armrests between the front seats, glove box and loop pile carpet wall to wall. Then we've got the top spec, the GXL, so 1600 GT and 2-litre engines available. It says let's start at the top with a stylish black or parchment vinyl roof, then move round to the front for a look at the black radiator grille with its 4 powerful halogen headlamps. From the side, the sports road wheels and body side mouldings that give the GXL a lean and elegant look. And finally, a look around the back shows the heated rear window, the GXL's unique badging and rear panel applique. On a 2-door model, the rear quarter windows can be opened. So then we've got that really nice interior of the GXL. And then it tells us inside the GXL excels itself, from the executive suite cut pile carpeting to the neatly tailored, thickly padded body moulding. Fully reclining seats, it's comfort. Comfort all the way. Doors and fascia are finished with luxurious simulated wood trim. The steering wheel is padded and all the things you would expect to find, from the 4-gauge centre console to the electric clock, from the vanity mirror to the cigar lighter you'll find. There's even a light in the engine compartment in case you get a sudden urge to admire the works at night. Nothing to do with breaking down, of course. And then finally it gives us this model, a very practical estate, available as a Cortina L or a Cortina XL, so nothing higher than that at this time. We've got a 1300 which isn't available on the XL model. We've also got a 1600 and a 2 litre. It also tells us in small print on the bottom there, the underriders are optional equipment on the L, XL, GXL and L and XL estate cars. It goes on to tell us space, lots of space, usable space, space you can use on a business trip, space for a whole week's family shopping or a fortnight's family holiday luggage. And still plenty of space for the family too. That's what the Cortina estates are all about. There are 3 different estate models and they all have the same generous proportions. They differ only in that they have the same exterior and interior trim style as their saloon equivalents. If you know anything about estate cars, you'll know that the rear seat is often shorter and higher and therefore less comfortable than the rear seat in saloon cars, but not with the Cortina range. The rear seat comes in full size for full width comfort. After all, why should the luggage be more comfortable than you? It goes on to say, naturally, another difference is the loading area behind the rear seats. In the Cortina L, this platform is covered in hardware and rubber matting. In the XL, the covering is loop pile carpet. And then it gives you some information about the dimensions. I'm not going to read all that, but if you do want to read it, just pause the screen. And there's some fun little diagrams about flattening that rear seat to make that ginormous load area. We also get rather nice information about the different engine choices. So it tells us the 1300's got a top speed of around about 85 miles per hour. It's even got 0 to 60 times of 18.3. I'm not going to read all that, but of course you can pause the screen at any time if you want to read the full text. We've also got the 1600, which is 0 to 60 now in 14.8 seconds. So it's certainly, I think, the more sensible choice. And then the 1600 GT engine, taking the 0 to 60 time in 11.9 seconds and top speed of 101. And then finally There is the big 2 litre, top speed 103 this time, 0 to 60 in 10.2 seconds. Pretty nice brochure actually, this one. It also gives us some like colours you could get for the Cortina Mk3 at this time, and quite a wide range of really nice colours. I'm always a fan of that Daytona yellow though on these 70s Fords. Look at these nice metallic-y colours. And then a few nice trim colours. And then finally just telling you, no extra charge for metallic, of course. It also gives us the options or options availability at extra cost. Give us an idea of what models can actually have that. So the or just mean options. So you could get an automatic transmission on any trim level, but you couldn't get it on the 1300. You could even have a bench front seat if you wanted on the lower spec models. What else can you have? Reclining front seats. S there is standard. Fabric trim seats is an option on all of them. Vinyl roof. So you can have a vinyl roof on the L, the XL, or indeed the GT. It was standard, of course, on that GXL. Servo assisted brakes, an option. Sports road wheels. Radial ply tyres of various types, rubber face bumpers and overriders, opening rear windows, heated rear windows option on all of them, tinted laminated windscreen option on all of them, metallic paint option on all, inertia real front seat belts option on all, and that push button radio is an optional on all trim levels. So there we go, the Mk3 pre-facelift 1972 brochure. One of my favourite brochures actually. I think it's really nice, and I do like the pre-facelift. I know a lot of people prefer the later ones with that more traditional dashboard, but I think I like the round headlamps. I think it's kind of like suits the car. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, tell me about all your experiences. Thank you so much for watching here on Friday. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Friday night. I know a lot of you work very hard to get to this point in the week. Tomorrow, Saturday, we'll look at a special edition. But for now, we'll say thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you've not already done so. We'll see you very soon. Take care and goodbye.